Happening now, officials are investigating the cause of an overnight blaze that left one dead in Chautauqua County, and a look at a bill that would remove harsh language from medical and government terminology. Plus, a longtime Halloween tradition in Jamestown is facing a change of venue. What families need to know.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, an investigation is underway into what caused a fatal overnight fire in the town of Gerry. Flames were reported by people driving by the single-family home on Route 60 in Gerry after 3 in the morning. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office tells us a female victim is believed to be the lone occupant of the home. The county coroner took her remains to ECMC in Buffalo for an autopsy. The victim's name has not yet been released, pending notification of next of kin. The Sheriff's Office fire investigation team is now working to determine what sparked flames.
Our two main points are to photograph the scene. We start on the outside and then work our way indoors. We also want to talk to any witnesses or residents that might have information about the house, the layout, what they heat with, if there's any electrical problems, things like that.
The Gerry Fire Department was assisted by several other jurisdictions in fighting the fire there. Now, preliminarily, deputies do not believe that fire was suspicious. We'll, of course, continue to follow this developing story and provide updates on air and online at WNYNewsNow.com. A Jamestown dog owner is facing animal cruelty charges after allegedly failing to provide proper food and water to his pet, leading to its death. Officers with Jamestown Police accused Christopher Hibbard of not feeding his dog and then not seeking proper medical attention after the pup became malnourished and sickly. On Tuesday, police said they found the animal deceased at Hibbard's address on the city's north side. Since then, Hibbard has been charged with overdriving, torturing, and injuring animals, along with failure to properly provide substance. And for the first time in over 50 years, Jamestown's Halloween Fun Fest will likely not take place at Allen Park's ice rink. Bronson Rasmussen joining us live in the newsroom with more on this today, and it's a pretty big development for local families, Bronson.
Justin, the festival usually takes place at the Allen Park ice rink. This year, however, the old arena is occupied by another group, making it difficult for Parks manager Dan Stone to hold events in that space.
Yeah, right now the city leases the Allen Park ice rink to the Frewsburg Soccer Club, and they have done an immense job of resurrecting the ice rink up there. They've got it laid out with AstroTurf, which makes it difficult to have to peel up and take over time and time again. And
those with the soccer club have let the city use the rink for other venues, but not to the extreme of the Halloween Fun Fest.
And they've been kind enough to let us use it on Easter egg hunts. But I think the candy and bobbing for apples and cider and donuts makes it maybe a little bit more messy than what the Easter egg hunt did. So we don't want to ruin what they have going up there by doing any damage to the turf.
Stone assures us that the Easter egg hunt will continue in the Allen Park area and only move inside when Mother Nature disagrees. Changing venues this year, Stone and his team want to show off some hidden gems within the city. For this year, the Fun Fest is looking to take place on the Jamestown Riverwalk between the two pedestrian bridges.
There's a lot of people that utilize the Riverwalk, but there's also a lot of people that really don't even know what we have down there. So I'm trying to highlight what we have down there, and I think we can make it a really cool experience to have some events and things go on down there.
Many ideas have been thrown out, like decorating the Riverwalk and having a trunk or treat with the Jamestown Police and Fire Departments. In the end, there is no solid plan on what the city will do on the event yet. Official times and dates will come out within the next few weeks. Live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
All right, Bronson, thank you very much. Well, staying in Jamestown, officials here, they're going back to the drawing board, reforming a committee to discuss ways to manage the city's urban deer population. This new committee will be made up by Councilman Diversa, Russell, Faulkner, and Sheldon. Right now, it's too late in the year to roll out a new policy on the issue, so the group will have to wait until the next hunting season to formally act on the subject. A previous effort to solidify a plan failed, with lawmakers last year considering a range of options, from sterilizing bucks to hosting controlled hunts. The effort to host those hunts was eventually shot down, ultimately ending discussions at the time. Now this week, Councilwoman Marie Karuba suggested getting additional input from outside sources, like the Corporation Council, to examine liability issues the city could face. She also went on to say that the committee should be more inclusive as well.
Having someone who's in favor of it from the community, someone who has other ideas, as we had someone here last week who talked about other options. I think maybe if you have a more inclusive group than just council members,
Sure.
and not just the hunters that planned to do it. I think that was part of the issue the last time. We just had the full hunter group.
Now, last week, a resident spoke out to the city council about humane ways to deal with the deer issue. And certainly there are a lot of them out there as we head into fall. Let's now switch gears. Get a first check of our weather forecast. Andrew Stevenson standing in for Dakota once again today. And even though it's fall, Dakota, it's one of my favorite fall day, Andrew, rather. I'm sorry about that. Even though it's fall, just so used to it. We love you just as much. But even though it's fall out there, it's beautiful, sunshine-wise. You'd almost think it's spring if you didn't feel the temperature.
Look like it out there. It looks pretty nice out there. Crystal clear blue skies over Chautauqua Lake, and you can actually start seeing some of those trees starting to change off there in the distance on the other side of the lake. So a beautiful day out there with crystal clear skies. As you will see on first defense Doppler radar, it is running, but there's nothing happening. No clouds, no rain, just mostly sunny skies across the region through the afternoon. So it's going to be an absolute beautiful day out there for any outdoor activities. Yesterday, the high was 59 degrees. The low was 37 degrees. The record was 88 degrees. The record high, 88 degrees, set back in 1951. The record low was 22, set back in 1987. So for the rest of the afternoon out there, partly to mostly sunny skies out there, an absolute beautiful afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-60s at the lake shore, the lower 70s inland. So it's going to be a beautiful afternoon, a little warmer as well, but we have some chillier temperatures on the way, and the rain will return as we head into the end of the week. I'll have those full details coming up in just a few minutes, Justin.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. As we roll along, a new website has been launched to hopefully inform locals about green energy in our community. This amid what seems to be widespread misinformation. And later, details of a new bill aiming to reword terminology now deemed hateful and outdated. What our new local representative in D.C. has to say. Stay with us. WNY News Now will be back after this.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than Dwyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on Dwyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. Dwyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A tractor trailer hauling a load of bananas overturned on Interstate 86 Monday in upstate New York. The crash happened in Chemung County between exits 57 and 58 in the westbound lane. According to the local sheriff there, the truck was hauling 40,000 pounds of bananas when the driver lost control and overturned in the median. The driver of that truck did suffer minor cuts and bruises in the crash, but luckily wasn't seriously hurt. The truck was still overturned as of noon yesterday as crews worked to get it upright and then out of the scene. Luckily, I-86 now back open and traffic is running smoothly. Well, a new educational resource for Chautauqua County residents to learn more about local green energy developments has now been launched. Our Alyssa Wright joining us live in studio with more on this project, which, Alyssa, seems to be trying to break down some misinformation here.
There is definitely a lot of misinformation surrounding this, Justin. Over the past few years, so much misinformation about the new projects across the area, like the solar and wind farms, and it's caused a lot of confusion for locals. So that's why the Chautauqua County Energy Commission developed this new energy reference guide.
I think that the reason why there's pushback from the community is one is they don't completely understand the facts. And that's another reason why we do this website.
There's a lot of information surrounding non-renewable energy sources, whether that info be factual or not.
There's so much information out there for businesses, for residents, for things having to do with offshore wind or solar or hydrogen. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So the concept of creating a website where you could put everything and it was easy to navigate, so that, you know, whether you're a homeowner or business or a community stakeholder or a leader, there's a place that you could go and get good information. So that's what we did.
There are many reasons someone may not want energy producers installed.
Some people don't like it because they don't like the way it looks. Some people are concerned that it's using up valuable agriculture land, perhaps.
Officials believe that the pros heavily outweigh the cons.
There's equally as many benefits or more benefits in my mind, you know, landowners being able to, you know, hold on to their family farms because they're getting lease payments on unproductive farmland. And, you know, there's benefits going to the community through host agreements. There's a lot of jobs created.
The county invites anyone who may have questions or concerns about the future of energy in Chautauqua to visit this webpage at planningschautauqua.com. Reporting live in studio, Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Congressman Joe Sepolensky wants to take the word retarded out of the U.S. Code. He's considering a bill called the Words Matter Act of 2022. In the bill, it would amend federal law to remove terms like mentally retarded and mental retardation out of the U.S. Code. That word is used for legal descriptions in medical care, court, workplace training, even grants for medical assistance programs. Sepolensky tells us that the word was frequently used in earlier generations, but it's harmful towards people with disabilities.
You know, that is a word that is, you know, not used in polite conversation, and it is a very dehumanizing word. So the purpose of the act is to make a statement as the federal government that those who have developmental disabilities are part of our community and deserve to be included and not dehumanized.
This bill was introduced in late September. So far, it has not moved through Congress. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and each year, the Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition, they host their annual Turn the Fountain Pink event at the state capitol in Harrisburg, PA, to kick things off. A rally was held Tuesday indoors due to rain, but that didn't stop dozens of advocates, survivors, friends, and family members from showing up in pink. The annual event and fountain color change serves as a reminder to women over the age of 40 to ensure they're scheduling their mammograms. Health officials say screening for breast cancer can mean a higher chance at survival if detected early.
Screening early for breast cancer is critical to the survival and positive outcomes of the clients who develop breast cancer.
Now, there are resources like the PA Breast Cancer and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program to help have those who maybe are unaware about screenings or maybe they don't have insurance, they can get the care they need. Well, we're continuing to follow Governor Kathy Hochul's electric vehicle initiative. Today, our Albany correspondent Elise Klein spoke to the Automotive Service Association about how this transition to electric cars would impact the auto industry here in New York.
As New York State transitions to electric vehicles, the auto service industry will have to adjust to changes including repairs and charging infrastructure. The Automotive Service Association, also known as ASA, said these adjustments will be a challenge for local shops, but not impossible.
You're going to see a lot of for-profit, nonprofit training initiatives over the next few years in preparation for these new electric fleets.
Redding added that ASA will be a part of these efforts, and he said local shops across the nation are working on training their technicians to work with electric vehicles. The California Clean Resources Board requires all new electric vehicles to have what is called an OBD2 port, and Redding said ASA is watching closely to push for this same element in the state of New York, as he says it will be a tremendous help in the transition process. An OBD2 port stands for onboard diagnostics, and it essentially gives the vehicle owner or the repair technician access to the status of and information about the vehicle and its subsystems. In addition to training, Redding added that one of the other challenges with this initiative is funding. He said this will be a challenge particularly as states like New York navigate charging infrastructure.
It's going to require much more than just the federal investment. There's no question about it.
In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Elise, thank you very much. Coming up next, President Joe Biden, he's in Florida today assessing damage and to find out what could be done to help victims of hurricane relief. And later, despite the chilly temperatures, grape farmers, they're hard at work right now in our region to harvest their crops. We check in with how things are going. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast. Andrew, right after this.
When severe weather breaks, one team has you covered, tracking the storms as they happen. Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. I'm Patrick Smeraldo, and I need your help to get there. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for two great causes: Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Harrison's Playmakers is a non-profit launched by former Buffalo Bills defensive tackle Harrison Phillips to connect kids with disabilities in sports. Furthermore, donations for this 3-day hike will also benefit CASA of Chautauqua County and the Stone family, who are assisting local foster care children during National Adoption Month. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights. Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger.
This
danger is real. Do your part.
Please.
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
Move over.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Let's take a look at the current conditions in downtown Jamestown. We are under mostly sunny skies. The temperature at the Jamestown Airport at noon was 60 degrees with a north wind of 5 miles per hour. So beautiful afternoon out there setting up. Let's take a look at the northeast regional. Well, first, before we get to that, the NOAA 8 to 14 day temperature outlook continues to favor below average temperatures as we head into the middle of October. So if you're a fan of the warmth, it looks like the warm temperatures will not be with us anytime soon. But if you like the cool weather, we got plenty of cool weather for you. Now here's the Northeast Regional over the past 5 hours. The rain and clouds continue across the Atlantic coast, but over western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania, beautiful skies. High pressure keeps us dry through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours. Future scan, I'll let it roll on through the afternoon here as it will show nothing happened. And nothing happened this afternoon and nothing happened tonight. Mostly sunny skies, but as we head into tomorrow, that cold front will end up the region, and that's going to increase cloud cover through the day tomorrow and bring in a chance maybe an isolated shower as we head into late tomorrow afternoon, but it looks like the best chances for rain showers will come overnight tomorrow night and into Friday as that cold front approaches the region with showers and cooler temperatures. For the rest of the afternoon out there, partly to mostly sunny skies. Some areas may break 70 degrees today, and we may break 70 degrees tomorrow, but after that it looks like 70-degree temperatures will be gone for the rest of the season, but we'll see. For tonight, mostly clear skies out there. Even though we have mostly clear skies tonight, it will be warmer overnight, so we're not going to have to deal with any frost. We'll go mid-40s in the valleys to low 50s near the lakeshore with calm winds overnight. So our beautiful sleeping weather tonight. The next 7 days, we'll start with some sunshine tomorrow. Clouds increase through the afternoon. Once again, temperatures in upper 60s, close to 70. Chilly weather returns Friday after that cold front passes with showers. We may not make it out of the upper 40s. The rest of the weekend, after a few showers early on Saturday, the rest of the weekend is looking pretty nice with partly sunny skies, and the dry weather looks to stay as we head into the next week, and slowly temperatures will start creeping back up as we head into next week, Justin.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Well, on Tuesday, the Supreme Court heard a challenge to a key section of the Voting Rights Act in a high-profile redistricting case. A lower court invalidated Alabama's congressional map, stressing that the state, with a 27% population of black voters, only had one majority black district. This appeal to make that ruling could make it more difficult for minority voters to challenge alleged gerrymandering. But depending on the High Court's decision, the president could also continue the erosion of the Voting Rights Act. And country music legend Loretta Lynn has died. Lynn, known as the Queen of Country Music, passed away at her Tennessee home Tuesday. That according to a statement from her family. Lynn's 7-decade-plus career in music started shortly after she picked up a $17 guitar from Sears. By 1970, she had written the autobiography Coal Miner's Daughter, which became her signature song. Loretta Lynn was 90 years old. President Joe Biden is in Fort Myers, Florida today to get a first-hand look at the devastation left by Hurricane Ian. He will meet with federal, local, and state officials on current response efforts and recovery. Meanwhile, people from the hard-hit barrier islands, they're still waiting desperately to be allowed back home. Isabel Rosales has the latest.
1 week after Hurricane Ian slammed into Florida as a Category 4 storm, residents of one of the hardest-hit communities will be allowed back in.
It's going to hit home. It's going to be emotional when they see their properties up close and the amount of damage that this storm inflicted upon them.
Ian wiped out a portion of the causeway connecting Sanibel Island to the mainland. While people will get access to their property Wednesday, officials say the island is still extremely unsafe.
It will be some time before we can resume normal life on Sanibel.
People who live on Fort Myers Beach will have to wait longer to see their homes.
My island of paradise is gone, as I knew it.
They were ordered to leave the barrier island with no guarantee of when they will be allowed to return.
I would guess it's probably hundreds of households that are going to be experiencing a period of time when they're not going to be able to be in their homes.
President Joe Biden will get a first-hand look at the devastation on Wednesday. He'll also meet with small business owners impacted by the hurricane.
There will be many businesses that will not provide work for their employees. It's really devastating to the community.
As Floridians enter the second week of recovery, many are holding out hope.
We're strong people. We'll get through it and we'll rebuild and come back.
In Fort Myers Beach, Florida, I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Coming up next here, farmers, they're hard at work harvesting their crop. A look at what a productive day on a grape farm in our region entails. Stay with us.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for two great causes, Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Well, frost is a major concern for grape farmers in our region, but the harvesting plan is going on as scheduled this week. Erie News Now's Mike Ruzzi had a chance to spend the morning with Jim Soul of Soul Farms in Northeast PA, and his three-person operation had a pretty productive day.
For the last 61 years, Jim Soul has been taking this ride.
I figured it out one time. It'd take us 100 people to pick what we pick in a day, to pick 100 ton. We're picking, 80 to 100 ton a day.
He still has a few weeks of harvesting left at this farm in Northeast, and he's optimistic about the overall crop.
Very good crop. This is the best crop we've picked here. I think this is a bumper crop. And we're picking, I timed myself, I picked 3 ton in about 8 minutes.
Saul, a graduate of Harbor Creek High School, took a break from the driver's seat to let me steer the ship, and controlling the harvester is not the issue. Instead, a constant concern over the weather is.
The season was late. We didn't start till like the 2nd of October. We picked Niagara's the end of September there. We picked all the white grapes and the end of September, and then we moved right into Concord, but our Concords weren't ready up here. We're farther away from the lake, and it's a little bit cooler up here. We're having trouble making sugar. So we find a place that we can make sugar, pick that one first, and then we try to get to the next place.
Mike Ruzzi, Erie News Now.
I'm with
WNY News.
And we interrupt for a little bit of breaking news. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office now providing an update on that fatal fire earlier today in Gerry. Crews saying that Sally Wisman has been identified as the victim who passed away. They say Wisman was at her home at 4532 Route 60 in Gerry. When crews arrived there, they found the home fully engulfed in flames while trying to extinguish it. They determined that she was unaccounted for and later discovered deceased inside of the home. The Gerry Fire Department then called the Sheriff's Office to investigate. At this point, they're still looking to determine what caused this fire. It has not yet been released. Wisman, the Sheriff's Office tells our newsroom, was taken to Buffalo for an autopsy. We will, of course, continue to follow this breaking news story and provide updates on WNYNewsNow.com. That is it for us today. News does continue at our site, WNYNewsNow.com. and in our free mobile app for iPhone and Android. We'll see you back here tomorrow.